I'm Daniel Wu from PayPal. I joined PayPal 8 months ago as a product manager, and before that, I worked in Shanghai for eBay Marketplace's China Development Center for 9 years. So today, my topic is about performance evaluation. I think go to every Agile conference, everybody will sooner or later ask this question. We did some of our own experiment, but it all starts from one of my manager's question when I started the first Scrum team in China 4 or 5 years ago. He was engineer, functional manager, managing 30 plus engineers in different Scrum teams. We start like 10 Scrum teams finally. So his question is, how can I still do force ranking, annual performance review, all this kind of stuff in an agile environment? Because it seems you guys are all doing great stuff in your team, and I heard that it's all about the team's result, but how to evaluate individuals. So we still have this HR policy, and we still need to do these things. Although maybe finally it should be abolished, but in such a corporate culture environment, how can we do it better? So we try some different ways. And later on, my manager left the company. I inherited everybody, so it becomes my problem. So talk about karma, right? So the idea is actually I would credit to Agile coach from Raleigh previously, Alan Atlas. Maybe some of you know him. In one of the talk in China Scrum Gathering, he said we should have the wisdom crowds, let those work together with you every day to evaluate your performance, instead of have a manager to have the sole say about your performance. So based on this idea, we try to do something. The original goal is to actually have a better or fairer, maybe there's no absolute fair in this in any kind of system to evaluate performance, but we try to be more fair and especially more suitable for the agile environment. But later on, we actually got a very good byproduct, which is to identify each team's pain points, their teamwork dynamics, their different challenges in different teams, different characteristics of the team. And I can show you something very interesting later. How we do that? First is an anonymous, independent survey. It's a very lightweight survey, only 7 questions, 1 to 10, you just give a number. Of course, there's some free format text you can also give. We use this way because, especially when we did this in China, the culture is not that direct, right? A lot of times, if you let them sit together in a retrospective kind of way, they can talk about team performance, but not the individuals, or give very direct or honest feedback. So that's why we use this this way to collect the feedback. And we give some questions based on some is quantified, some is qualified. The questions, actually, we did a survey by survey to collect the ideas of what should be asked in the survey. And finally, it boils down to 7 questions. One of the questions is actually proposed by some team member, and we really liked it, which is question 6. If you are a team member, are you really energizing the whole team, or just bring the whole team morale down, right? So you can see from it, there's no question about how much you delivered in the team. It's all about behavior, the team behavior, how you help the team to be more successful, instead of just me in the team, right? Because that's sometimes the individual performance's side effects, because you evaluate individual finally. But we try to steer it to the way that it's about you, but it's about your behavior in the whole team, how to make the team more successful. So there's a link about all these questions. You can take a look. And finally, it got embedded into the whole evaluation system. It's not about just a quarter of everything. Actually, the peer review, this part for individual contributors, for the team members inside Scrum team, it's more than 40%, sometimes it's 50%. And of course, the whole team's performance is another factor. And for some of the team leads or people managers, there will be other parts. And we also have the talent review part, how you self-improve yourself. That's also part of the review system. And I actually blocked the whole thing, and I'll give you the link later. It's more comprehensive, and you can take a look later. Let me show you, I cannot do a demo here, but let me show you some screenshots. So this is when you log into our system internally, you have your team member all listed here. And on one dimension of those 7 questions, on one dimension you give all the numbers. In this way, actually, it's better. It's very easy to do collaboration. You compare your team members based on this question. And then, because we are a data team and business intelligence kind of stuff, we did a lot of analysis on each individual. So you can see the performance up and down and the trend. And this is more detail. And this one is very interesting. It's the whole team's heat map, from low to high. The dark, the red, the lower, the darker, the blue, the better. And you can see for some teams, there may be one team member who got quite a big problem there. You can identify. And actually, vertically, you can see for this team, question 5, it seems everybody got a lower score, which means maybe the team, in general, they need to work on something that's different than other teams. So it gives you a lot of insights about the whole team, how the whole team works. And for some teams, they're more mature and they are very happy together, and they tend to give quite high numbers to each other. And we don't compare team with team because it's all about their own scale. Some teams tend to give lower to each other, but that's okay. But inside it, the ranking and also vertically, which point is more problematic, that's what we look for. I think that's all for my presentation. And if you already got a QR scanner on your phone, you can directly get the link to the blog post. That's it.
I have 2 questions. So one is, you're getting the feedback from the peers for each individual?
Yeah.
So basically each Scrum team member is giving feedback for every Scrum team member, right?
Yes.
Okay. I see a problem there because they know when the manager is asking for a feedback, it's basically for their performance and they're competing against each other. Number 1. So your input is for the data that is keeping in is actually driven by a different thing. So I'm not really sure how transparent or truth will be poured in that, because if I'm on a Scrum team and I'm giving data, if I put him all the goods, I'm probably ranking myself below. Okay, so that's one issue. Other thing that I wanted to say.
Common bias, right? So you're saying it's common bias, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. So this method is not really a helpful method for evaluation. That's what I'm saying, which is a classic outside also. And the second thing is when, like you said, one team that you said it's a mature team, you said all purples.
Yeah.
At the manager, at some point you will have to rank who is number 1 and who is number 6 when that's Scrum team. How do you do that?
Sometimes the first question is actually because the team is cross-functional. They're actually not always evaluated in the same bucket,
Okay.
like BSA and engineer. And we actually have some other more detailed analysis behind the scene. Like if you give everybody the same number, we won't think you're treating this seriously, and maybe we will just get that number out. It doesn't make any sense, not many difference either, right? And we also try to identify some high, standard deviations. Like if you give, if you receive all quite high numbers, but for some individual, you got quite low, and that shows a big gap there, which sometimes you can see very interestingly, they give each other quite low numbers, which means they don't like each other. So all this kind of stuff, as a manager, of course we keep it confidential, but we will communicate with the direct managers and to see if there's anything we can do there. But normally we don't see the gaming of the system, but every system can be
It's not
gamed.
gaming, I'm just saying that when people know on a team that
Yeah.
they will be ranked against their peers,
Yeah.
it's a natural tendency for people to, they will be fair, but nobody wants to give somebody over or due credit because they want to make sure that whatever I'm giving is actually going to come back, because people don't know how the other people are evaluating, right?
But
Yeah,
I
so that's
think
a whole other problem,
we need
though.
to
Stack
move on.
ranking,
Yeah.
stack ranking is wrong.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be
Yes.
using stack ranking at all.
That's exactly what my point was.
and it might help otherwise, because if I know that I'm going to evaluate her and she knows she's going to evaluate me, we might probably be working good with each other, and it might help for teamwork, which we want in a Scrum team. That teamwork should be there, people should be talking. So if my behavior and my sharing of knowledge is good with her, it's ultimately solved. The problem is solved.
Actually,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Problem is not solved because
Maybe we can
We
talk
can,
about this
yeah, afterwards.
after the session.
Thank you, Daniel.
Something to talk to